You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White Sports fans, for a very, very long time here on this channel, we have been critical of the NBA for remaining silent on China. They refuse to criticize Chinese slavers. They won't mention anything about them, but they have no problem criticizing this country here. China is an oppressive country to their people. We have told you what is going on with the Uyghurs over there in northwestern China. And the NBA doesn't seem to care whatsoever. So that leads us to one LeBron James, who we call on this channel LeChina James. And that's for a very, very good reason. As you guys may remember, when Daryl Morey came out and showed his support for Hong Kong, LeBron James didn't support Hong Kong. He said that Daryl Morey was uneducated, even though the Daryl Morey is probably the smartest person in the NBA. Well, LeChina James's silence seems to have paid off, folks, because check this out over here on Breitbart. China-backed LeBron James tops athlete salary list with $127 million in 2021. But folks, this part right here is pretty eye-opening here. Check this out. LeBron James has come in at the top spot of Sportico's list of highest paid players for 2022. He was not just the highest paid athlete, but it was also the highest annual earnings take of his career. LeBron James has cashed in, and we know it's pretty much off of the back of Chinese slave labor. Now, of course, he makes over $40 million a year just from his NBA salary alone. But we know that LeBron James has other production companies, that kind of thing, endorsements, and of course, Nike, who is in bed with China. Last year, guys, Nike's CEO came out and said that we are a brand for China. He said that was his words, not mine, not the exact words, but he did say that they are a company for China, not the U.S. But it says here the Lakers were shut out of this year's playoffs, and for the second year in a row. But that has not put a dent into James's earnings. Instead, James raked in with his rich shoe deals, deep ties to China, and TV and film deals. James earned $41 million in salary as an NBA player. Sportico reported and ranked second in the NBA in scoring with 28.5 points per game in 2021-2022, but that was the least of the windfall coming his way. As far as sports go, along with his stake in the Boston Red Sox, yeah, that's right, he did buy minority stake. James also has a stake in Liverpool, a soccer team in the English Premier League. The Laker also earns millions from his Nike contract and his endorsement deals with Walmart, GMC, AT&T, PepsiCo, and others. In addition, personal brands including Calm, Ladder, OpenFit, and Lobos 1707 Tequila all bring in rich returns. Nike, of course, is heavily invested in the Chinese market and is said to have raked in upwards of $6 billion in China in just the last year. And as it happens, James is one of Nike's biggest selling names in the Chinese market. Nike is listed among 83 international companies benefiting directly or indirectly from Chinese slave labor. And of course, you know, LeBron James is going to remain silent to not piss off his Chinese overlords, his overseers, because if he does, a big portion of his money is going to dry up. You know, LeBron James wants to be a social justice warrior. He wants to be looked at in the same eyes as like a Muhammad Ali or something like that. But this man won't call out what's happening over there in China. He will not speak about the oppression of the people of Hong Kong, what's going on with Taiwan, and of course the Uyghurs, like we already said. He is silent because he's a hypocrite, because one thing he loves even more than being black. He loves green. Green is everything. He loves the money. He loves the money. James also fills his pockets with earnings from his 7-year-old media group, the Spring Hill Company. Almost all these deals lead back to China, with the manufacturing of products being made by Chinese factories to media projects earning millions from Chinese audiences. With all these lucrative ties to the communist nation, it is no wonder that James refuses to criticize China for its genocidal human rights abuses. And you will never, ever hear LeBron James say anything about that. But hey, LeBron James, the highest earner of athletes in the world. And he is so deep in bed with China. He's not the only one. There's other NBA players. We talked about them before too. Klay Thompson, I should say, has a contract with either Anta or I forget the other company over there in China. There's quite a few of these NBA players. This is why the NBA remains silent. But they have no problem shilling for the Marxist organization Black Lives Matter. LeBron James is 1,000% a hypocrite, and he's fattening his pockets. I mean, if you guys look at Colin Kaepernick and the money he's making, it is pennies to compare to what LeBron James is making, because LeBron James can actually still play his sport, unlike Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick's skills is eroded away immensely. That's why you haven't seen this guy in 6 years. LeBron James, he can still play. And as long as he keeps playing, he's still going to get these $40+ million deals. Of course, the NBA is so in bed with China. All of his business dealings seem to lead back to China. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.